All this extreme festival of motorsport action is proudly brought to you by Inveschem, Posi Drive, Hankook Tires, DOE Quality Parts, and Start My Car. Zwartkops, the arena of motorsport, and the first round of the National Championship of Extreme Festival. And a big crowd has come out to be entertained on the 2.4K circuit here at Zwartkops. Weather conditions are absolutely ideal, and the track conditions are turning out to be almost perfect for racing today. 30 degrees Celsius, no chance of rain, and a small breeze that's going to keep the engines working nicely. All the crowds are ready to go. We're going to kick things off now with the Inveschem Formula 1600s. The biggest prize fund in South African motorsport kicks off its championship this weekend at the first round of the Extreme Festival. And down in pit lane, Lerryn MEW will take us through all the changes and some new drivers for 2020.
Welcome to an exciting new season of Inveschem Formula 1600. It's going to be bigger, it's going to be better, and I promise you there's going to be thrills and spills aplenty. So this year we've got 3 newcomers. Welcome back to the racing colours of DAW. We've missed them on national circuit racing, and young Jared Werberski is the man to fill that seat. Along with him as a rookie, we've got Zaim Gulam and Ewan Holtzhausen. Our reigning champ, Scott Temple, has taken a more technical role this year, which leaves the field wide open to crown a new champion in 2020. And this year's prize money is even bigger and better than last year. Ian Schofield and the Inveschem team have come to the fore and stepped up. 250,000 Rand cash in your pocket, a Formula Renault test internationally, as well as a GTC test here in South Africa. Top 3 finishers, all cash prizes, all GT3 tests, and the prize money goes all the way down to 6th place. So you know what? If you do this properly this season, your racing budget is covered. And to see what happens in race 1, Greg, take us through it.
Lerryn was standing right by the pole position car there of Andrew Rackstraw and Nicholas Van Wieluwe alongside him. Schofield and Thiago Rabella making up the second row, with Geldenhuys and Jared Werberski making a welcome return for DAW racing. But the 14-year-old becomes one of the youngest drivers ever to enter into this category. Look out for some big action from him, but also look out for some big action from the 2 Andrews. Look at that race face on there, big time for Schofield as he looks to get to the front end and possibly take on the top 2. Thiago Rabella is definitely a man to watch out for and has got better and better, and joins a new team there with Thiago Rabella Motorsport. We'll be looking forward to a great season. Lights about to go on and off. When they go off, we go racing, and as they go off, it's a good start in the background. Geldenhuys getting a fantastic start. In fact, Antoine Geldenhuys, probably the best start there. Maybe a little bit of a jump start. We'll wait and see as they go down in towards turn number 1. Mr. Pax just streaming through there. Good start from Zach Edwards. Alex Voss right there with him. Thiago Rabella now got Jared Werberski right on his tail. The Geldenhuys go around the outside of Voss. Voss has got a little bit of pressure coming from the inside there, and you can see Ewan Holtzhausen also starting to put a little bit of pressure on right from the word go. Look at Geldenhuys though, looking left, right and centre, trying to find a way past on Jared Werberski. Antoine just behind that, also doing the same thing to find a way through there on Voss. And as they head up to the top of the hill, you can see just how tight this is going to be. Great move early on there, and Van Wieluwe squeezes through and gets ahead. The 2 Andrews now drop down to 2nd and 3rd place. We start out with Rackstraw in 2nd and Schofield in 3rd, but Rabella is already applying massive pressure onto the back end there of Schofield, looking for a way through. Underbraking now for the first corner, the first time they come down to turn 8, that is. And on the inside, what a move there, using that inside curb and nearly getting up onto 2 wheels. Thiago Rabella is applying massive amounts of pressure here. There's no doubt about it. There's going to be a big dash here between himself and Schofield. And Schofield around his outside of turn 1. That's on cold tyres. Man, those Avons are not even up to temperature yet, and they're pushing them to the limit and beyond. Here comes Werberski looking to pick up the pieces. He's there in 5th place. Great start from the youngster. Remember, this man is only 14 years old. And is one of the youngest drivers ever to enter into a national championship series here with the Inveschem Formula 1600s. Looking for an opportunity right from the word go. He's done a little bit of testing in the off-season to try and get up to speed with what these cars can do. And he's now right there with the usual contenders. And when I talk about the usual contenders, these are the guys who were racing and looking for podiums all of 2019. The rest of the pack just behind that, Zach Edwards, Alex Voss, Ewan Holtzhausen, Ivana Stetinich running well there, leading out Class B just ahead of Alan Meyer. And you can see Ian Schofield a little bit off the pace at this stage, looking for a chance to maybe make his way through a bit later on. But the pressure's certainly on Werberski, and he's soaking it up big time there. Interesting to see how that youngster has just got to grips with his car. Goes defensive. Will not allow Geldenhuys a chance, but there he goes. Oh, he went too early. Geldenhuys spotted that and then dived very late into turn 8 and made an absolutely awesome move. Can he keep it all together through turn 1? Yes, he can. Jared Geldenhuys side by side with Werberski. Werberski keeping him side by side. We're going to try 3x3. Alex Vos, I don't know if that'll work. Vos now trying to find a way through. He gets a great late apex diving on the inside of Geldenhuys. He might have squeezed out Geldenhuys. No, Geldenhuys just stays ahead of him. Great onboard shot here from Alex Vos's point of view as they go down now into turn 3. Look at the defensive driving coming out of Werberski. Goes immediately to the right-hand side of the track, making Geldenhuys have to drive around the outside of Volkswagen corner as they come through turn 4. And absolutely all problems there for Ian Schofield. Schofield puts his hand up, and wow, Alex Vos loses out there big time. Zach Edwards dives through, and so does Antoine Geldenhuys. The two of them capitalizing on the little bit of issues there for Ian Schofield. Schofield drops back ever so slightly now and right to the back of the field. Let's have a look at that once again. This is from Ian Schofield's point of view. As he comes out of turn 4, there's no drive. He's just got no drive whatsoever. Puts his hands up, and there you can see, unfortunately, nowhere to go there for Vos. And nowhere to go. He's going to have to park it on the sideline. This is from Zach Edwards' point of view. As they go in there, you can see Vos has just picked the wrong line. He's just on the inside there, and as the car brakes, he has to brake hard. Zach Edwards very lucky to avoid that. He looks in his rearview mirrors. He can see Antoine Geldenhuys right on his tail as Ian Schofield peels into pit lane and out of race 1. Such a pity there for the boss man. Now as they come down towards turn number 2, there's big pressure on Zach Edwards. Look at him locking the wheels up into turn 2, and the pressure's coming from Vos now, trying to make up the ground that he lost. Oh, what a big spinner! Spin out there from the 88 car. That is not what Zayem Gulam wanted to do. And now trying to get back on track, he had to just reverse it in and then try and spin it out one more time. At the front end, though, Nicholas Van Wheelie maintains the lead. Rackstraw maintains the pressure there for second and trying to find a way through. And they're pulled slightly away now from Andrew Schofield, who's in third. Schofield at this stage trying to make up that ground, but Rackstraw in the race driver SA and Arai machine looking for a chance now to close down on that magnificent paint and hardware car. And I don't think he's able to do it. We got 2 corners to go, and I think Van Wheelie is going to take first blood for 2020. As they come down under braking for turn 8, G&H Transport corner, done deal. The first win of 2020 in the Formula 1600s goes to Nicholas Van Wheelie. He'll be very happy with that. That's a great way to start off the campaign and open up the account for 2020. Rackstraw in second and Schofield in third. Rebello not too far behind, but he'll be looking to just maybe squeeze a little bit higher up. And a good drive coming out of Jared Werberski, finishing just behind Geldenhuys. In fact, the sandwich between the 2 Geldenhuys cars. There's confirmation of the top 10. It's Van Wheelie from Rackstraw and Schofield, Rebello, Geldenhuys and Werberski. Geldenhuys beats out Zach Edwards, Alex Vos in 9th, and Ewan Holzhausen down in 10th. And Lerryn's down in pit lane.
Jared, a big welcome to Inveschem Formula 1600. First time out, how was it?
Yeah, it was great. Everyone's made me feel so welcome, and still a big learning curve for us, but we're out here to get points and try our best.
Welcome back to Zwartkops, and more action now from the Inveschem Formula 1600s. The crowds have stuck around, and as always with the Extreme Festival, lots to see and do off track. As the cars make their way onto the track, though, we're looking forward to another fantastic single-seater bit of action here at the 2.4K circuit of Zwartkops. It's the arena of motorsport, and there's certainly been a great amount of gladiators through this track in their day. A couple of new guys now looking to make their names in Formula 1600s. Waiting for those 5 lights to go on and off, and we go down into turn 1, Compendium Insurance corner. Who's going to have what it takes now? Can Van Wheelie possibly take a second win for the day and really start the account for 2020 off with lots of points in the bank? Lights about to go on. As soon as they go off, we go racing. Watch out for the background as well. There were great starts out of both the Geldenhuys cars, the red, white, and green machines. And once again, Jared Geldenhuys gets a great start. It is Van Wheelie who's going to be pushed hard there by Rackstraw as they go into turn 1. Rackstraw's on the outside. Zayem Gulam alongside Zach Edwards as they also head down towards turn 2. But inside line there for Andrew Rackstraw just slots him up into first place. And into second place, it's Van Wheelie. The rest of the pack come through there, pushing hard. You can see Ian Schofield now trying to make up a little bit of ground and make his way to the front end after not finishing up the way he wanted in race number 1. And here we go, already pressure being put, and wow, Vos soaks it up big time through turn 4. Geldenhuys right on his tail. And you can see here Ian Schofield closing in on the youngsters. It's Jared Werberski looking for a way through on those two. The one we were just talking about right now as they came through turn 4, and Werberski's already on the inside. Change up for second. A little bit of move there, and you can see just as we're getting into the thick of it here. Oh, is it? Yes, there is. Werberski squeezes through and gets ahead of Geldenhuys. Geldenhuys losing out there to the DAW man as they come through turn 7 down the hill. Look at the other Geldenhuys though. Gerard Geldenhuys is all over Andrew Schofield, and Schofield right now is in massive amounts of pressure. You can see just how hard he's having to work to keep off the attention of this man that we go on board here, the Abacus Division's racing machine of Jared Geldenhuys. He holds that outside line, which means he'll have the inside for turn 2. Watch for the cutback here. Late wide line, and there it is, the cutback. Perfect opportunity to see how that works down into turn 2, but did he make it stick? Looks like he might have just had to stay behind Schofield. Speaking of Schofield, well, it's Ian Schofield's got a bit of pressure now coming from Zach Edwards, and Zwartkops is not too far off the back end of that. Then it's Ewan Holtzhausen, Lerryn MEW, and Brendan Tracy at the back end of the field. But as they come through turn 4, this is a man who's making his way up rapidly. Andrew Schofield now has broken a little bit of that toe, and the pressure has just been relieved ever so slightly. But he's got to try and catch Tiago Rebello, who got through early on into third place. Great driving there from Tiago. Can he keep it all together for a possible podium? We'll have to wait and see now as they come through. Absolutely amazing action as always in the Inveschem Formula 1600s, and one of the best single-seaters we've seen out of this category in a long, long time. The racing is usually tight, but there's only about 2 or 3 cars normally involved. The gaps have opened up ever so slightly, but you can see it's not done just yet. There's Nicholas Van Wheelie, who wants that second place to turn into first, and he's going to have to work hard for it. Rebello, third, ahead of Schofield, ahead of Geldenhuys. Then you've got Vos ahead of Jared Werberski. Werberski still under a bit of pressure there from the second of the Geldenhuys cars. Antoine all over him. And then it's Ian Schofield just holding off the rest of that pack. At this point, looks like just behind him is the car of Zach Edwards and Zwartkops just behind that as well. So those two having a great dice and fending off at the back end. A little bit of issues there for the Lerryn MEW, Lieutenant Colonel, trying to close down on Ewan Holtzhausen, but he has pulled slightly away there from Brendan Tracy, who doesn't have and hasn't had the greatest weekend. Werberski looks like he's just got through. Yes, he has. He's found a way past and maintains that little gap. But Zach Edwards is going to make him work for it. The Carters are going at it, yeah. There's no doubt about it as they come up onto the braking point now. Edwards late on the brakes, closes down on Schofield. So Geldenhuys versus Werberski. It's Schofield versus Edwards as they come on to turn 6 and the double right hand at Kenwood. Flicking through and down the hill. I don't know if there's going to be any answer here for second and first. I think Andrew Rackstraw might just have enough to keep off the attentions of Nicholas Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie is going to have to settle for second place with only a lap to go. And I don't think he's going to catch Rackstraw, who's just managing to manage the front end of this field and keep everybody else at bay. It's not like Nicholas Van Wheelie to give up though, and you'll see just how hard he pushes here. Maybe rolls out, realizing that there's not enough time with less than 2.4 Ks to go of this one. And this is the second heat, of course, of Inveschem Formula 1600s for 2020. Yeah, he's rolled out. Definitely rolled out of that one. Realizes he's not going to catch that. There's no rolling out of Schofield, though. Schofield has closed big time on the back end there of Tiago Rebello. And just in the background, Jared Geldenhuys. And I've got to say for Jared Geldenhuys and for Antoine, massive improvements from both those drivers. Look out for them through the season as we get into it. So coming to the line now, Rackstraw's got 3 corners to go. It's Kenwood, it's Mix FM and G&H Transport. But of course we did see that Nicholas Van Wheelie completely rolled out of it, realizing he's not going to be able to do it. Save the car, save the tires, because there's still another heat of racing to come. 3 heats of racing today here at Zwartkops for the opening round. Rackstraw's going to take the second one. He comes across the line to beat out Nicholas Van Wheelie, who you could see rolled out, and there's definitely some strategy in that. Rebello's going to come through for third place, beating out Andrew Schofield and Jared Geldenhuys. Good drive out of both Geldenhuys boys, finishing up in 5th and 7th place respectively, with Alex Vos between them, and Ian Schofield, the only Class B competitor in the top 10. Let's look forward now to race number 3.
Congratulations to Andy Rackstraw redeeming himself there in race 2. Race 3 coming up next with Ian Schofield on pole for the first time since 1992. Cannot wait to see what happens next. Over to you, Greg.
It's going to be very interesting to see what Ian Schofield can do off the front row. He hasn't been there, as you said, in a long, long time. And if he's in the front, he's a difficult man to pass. So if the car all handles and keeps together, unlike what we saw in race number 1, and I'm not going to give him the commentator's curse, there's a very good possibility that Schofield might take this victory. Let's have a look and see as the lights are about to go off and we head down towards turn 1. Both of the Geldenhuys boys getting another great start out of the two of them and just squeezing out as they go down into turn number 1. Oh man, it's good and it's great racing as always in the Inveschem Formula 1600s. And Schofield are going to go 1 and 2. Oh, nearly! Andrew Schofield nearly going right up the inside, and there's a tag. There's a bit of a touch there. You could see there was a little bit of a touch, and it looks like Andy Schofield's car might be out of shape and off the circuit. Ewan Holtzhausen spinning out as well as they come right in front of the camera. But it's a great start from Schofield. It's Geldenhuys 2 and 3. And there's a big one. Oh, Tiago Rebello unceremoniously going up the inside and tagging Vos. Vos goes sliding off and onto the sidelines and into the kiddie litter. So now it's the two Geldenhuys boys taking on the master and the man who put this entire series together. Where is Zach Edwards going? threading the needle into turn 4 and just avoiding cars as he climbed on the brakes and unfortunately locked up and went straight through in between two of the cars. How is that? We've been through 4 corners and we've had almost 5 massive incidents. That's not the way we want to be doing things in Formula 1600s. You don't want to be locking wheels. You don't want to be tagging cars, not in single-seaters. So let's have a look at it from the Inveschem replay. This is Alex Foss getting the tag there and getting sent unceremoniously into the kiddie litter. He won't be happy about that one. You can see him shaking that head. This is Thiago Rabella's point of view. You can just see he went in there a little bit too hot. He also goes off track. Fortunately, he gets through the kiddie litter. He'll make his way back onto the track, but he's now right at the back of the field, and he's got a lot of work to get through. At the front end, though, Schofield starting to open up a bit of a margin now, and it looks like up in the second place, Andrew Rackstraw. Rackstraw's got through there on Geldenhuys. Geldenhuys dropping back there. Antoine not able to run with the same kind of pace. In fact, no, that's Gerard. Gerard Geldenhuys has dropped back there. Antoine is at the front end. He's sticking with that pace. That's incredible to see. Not quite what I expected. Change up for the lead, though, as Rackstraw gets through there on Schofield up into turn 5. And it's the other Schofield he's now fighting with. He thinks to himself, hang on a second. I normally fight with Andrew, not with Ian. I think he'll be looking at it going, hang on a second, Ian is also helping me out here. So let's see what's going to happen here into the closing stages. Well, we've got a big maneuver coming through here from Geldenhuys onto the back end of Schofield. Schofield soaking up that pressure. 4th place all on his own. Some pulling away from 2 cars fighting hard is Werberski. And the 2 cars fighting hard will be Van Wheelie and the other Geldenhuys car of Gerard. So as they come now onto the braking point, look at this very, very tight stuff there. And this is great stuff coming out of the 7 car. Antoine Geldenhuys, we mentioned it in race number 2. Both of these boys have stepped up their games and are certainly up for the championship. Never mind race wins, they're going to be looking for those right from the word go. So will this young man, 14 years of age, incredibly, as he comes through turn 3 and right there in the top 5 from the word go. And he's been there all day long. Late dive there from Antoine looking for a way through. It's a very difficult man to pass in front of you. Antoine, you're going to have to work hard to get through on Ian Schofield. He certainly knows his way around a single-seater. He's been doing it for a long, long time. Locking up. Oh, that's problems for Rackstraw. Rackstraw's gone straight. Rackstraw has run straight and a stupid mistake. He knows he's made a stupid mistake there. Look at that. He's even flat spotted those Avons. So he's going to make it. Oh, he's probably just going to climb out the car. He knows it's over. So Rackstraw out of this one. Schofield re-inherits that 1st place. Antoine Geldenhuys now up into 2nd. And look at that. Werberski into 3rd. Can you believe how tight it is? Amazing stuff here from Jared Werberski looking for a way pass and possibly a podium in his first time of asking. Look at the front end of that car though. There's a little bit of nose lift there. He's tapped somebody. I think that might have been when he tapped Andrew Schofield here into turn 2 on lap number 1. You can see a little bit of damage on that nose cone, but it's not affecting him. There are 6 cars. You make that, yeah, almost 6 cars. 5 of them all fighting for the lead now. We're on board with Van Wheelie behind Jared Werberski. He's got Jared Geldenhuys on his tail. He's got Antoine ahead of him, looking for a way around the youngster here. Jared Werberski will hold that inside line. Can he keep it all together and take out one of the ex-champions? Yes, he can. He hangs on with half a lap to go. Up to the top of the hill. Geldenhuys, Schofield, Werberski, and here they go, looking for chances. Van Wheelie dives on the inside. Werberski's going to place that car perfectly. Oh, he comes across on Geldenhuys and takes him out. I don't think Van Wheelie saw Geldenhuys on the outside there and just came across at him. You can see he's not happy about that. I don't think there was anything that he could do about it either, because Jared Geldenhuys tried to avoid, and he's not happy, that's for sure. But down to the line they come. This is for the final corner. Are we going to see Werberski on the podium for the very first time? The youngest driver to get onto a podium ever in single-seaters at national championship level. Yes, we are. He's going to get 3rd place as they come across the line. Schofield takes the win. Incredibly, the Class B man takes the overall win there, ahead of Antoine Geldenhuys. We mentioned the massive improvements from both those drivers in the Geldenhuys family. Werberski, first time out in national championship Formula 1600s, and he takes a podium in the 3rd time of asking. Brilliant stuff. Have a look at this. The Inveschem Formula 1600 replay. And there you can see Van Wheelie just comes across. I don't think he saw Geldenhuys there. And Geldenhuys just misses the parked Rackstraw car. Ooh, there's going to be some words there, I think. But anyway, that's how single-seater racing goes sometimes. And Jared Geldenhuys is not happy about that, as you can see. So this is one Van Wheelie's point of view as they go up to the top of the hill. He didn't even look in the rearview mirror. He comes across. There's the tag. I don't think even... he puts his hand up immediately. I don't think he saw Geldenhuys there, to be very honest. He was in the blind spot. This man was very lucky as he came across, and you can see the 2 of them there just showing how tight it was. And Lerryn's down in the pits.
Ian, it's been 28 years since your last victory.
Certainly, yes. I've had lots of victories in regionals and stuff like that, and in Class B, but it's my first national win since 1992 in Cape Town. So, yeah, quite a long wait, 28 years, but there you go. It's still life in the old dog yet.
Well, that dog put on a sterling performance, and he made the youngsters work really hard.
Yeah, I wasn't actually going to race this year here because I wanted to defend the championship that I won in the UK last year. But we were a bit short of numbers due to the economic climate. So the guy said to me, you know, would I race? So I thought I would. And then, of course, we had this reverse grid format for the third race, which is new to this series. And, well, I must say it worked really well, certainly for me anyway. But no, it was very good. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
This Inveschem Formula 1600s is turning out to be probably one of the best starts to a season in a long time, with Van Wheelie 3 points ahead of Rackstraw, and just 5 points adrift on that is Tiago Rebello. Join us after the break for some more action here from the Extreme Festival of Motorsport.